The Tonight is a Night Show with Miles Morkri.
Hi everyone. We're back. It's been a month. Nothing's happened since then. It's been wild. Nothing notable, nothing new. But we're going to do the show because we've got a lot of people to please, including you. Yes, you. So welcome to the Tonight is a Night Show with Miles Morkri. I'm Miles Morkri. I'm not wearing shoes. Support for the show has been just perfectly average the past month. And year over the year, it's been exactly the same. And I would say that I'm fine with it. But in reality, it's been driving me up the wall. I'm begging. I'm pleading you. I'm on my knees. I need more viewers. Attention, me. Nothing bad, only good happen when attention to me. The show that got our former time slot, Concealed Carry-On with Jay Harris and Weapon, has grown massively and rapidly over the past few months in the spot that should have been mine. Jay Harris and Weapon's ascension on television has been a real thorn in my side. And I'll be honest and say that I despise her success. It's sad, really. Maybe I should be sad for myself. But I feel sad for her, too. We met at Weapon and Company, the children's television series that she led. And we had such a beautiful friendship. We had so many fond memories, cleaning out the gutters, playing hide and seek. We were ganging up on the others to follow curfew. That's something we did together. And, you know, I don't think I can ever really forget that. It was so nice. But I know back then it seemed like sunshine and roses. But today I want to reveal the real truth. And Oh. Okay. So I've been advised not to talk about this. I know. Free speech has been taken from us. This is the first time I've done this monologue, if you can't tell. So I'll switch over to my other topic, which was my fallback, which is kind of talking about what happened to me the past month. Any creative has gone through this, and that's burnout. I hit it pretty severely after the last episode aired. And it was horrible. To give you some background, the month of August I was in a state of perpetual motion. And I pretty much worked every day for a month and a half until I did this first episode of the show back on, and then I pretty much collapsed quickly afterwards, and I lost all emotion, and I lost all energy and motivation to do pretty much anything. And it wasn't really scary at the time. It only became scary after I came out of it. When I gave myself the 20 days I needed to come out of this burnout, then I realized how scary it was to feel nothing for 20 straight days and feel like I was completely just running myself into the ground, trying to make things and trying to create while being so upset and so depressed. So, how did I make it? I want to reiterate that every single artist you meet is going to suffer from burnout. You, if you are making something, are going to suffer from burnout. And it varies on how deeply it affects you. For me, I pretty much am out of commission for a month, and I lose all perspective. And that is how I check myself to know that I have burnt myself out, which is I have no perspective on myself and my situation. And so once I realized that I had my sense of perspective on myself had disappeared, I knew that I was completely depressed. So I gave myself the time. And that's kind of the hardest thing you can give yourself, both as a freelancer and also just as a creative, is time to not do the thing that you love. Because doing the thing you love is causing you a tremendous amount of pain. So, yeah, I watched a lot of movies and I sat around and I tried to sleep and I just did my day-to-day, and eventually I felt better. And the real solution to burnout is time. Time away from what you're trying to do. And it is so extremely hard to grant yourself that. But me, Miles, I'm giving you permission to not do the thing that you love to do in order for you to do it as best as you can in the future. Anyway, burnout sucks. It's horrible. But it's all part of it, and it's going to happen. So, nothing is wrong with you if it happens. Just got to ride it out. Talk to your friends. Even if you don't want to hang out with your friends, make them hang out with you. We've got a great show. We're happy. We're so happy and we're so excited to be here. Let me tell you one thing. I have felt reinvigorated the past couple of weeks, and I have a full drive for life now. It may have shied away for a little bit, but I'm back. As I was saying, we've got a great show. We've worked really hard on it the past month. We've got musical guest Floor Baba. If you can believe it, we got Floor Baba. That's right. That's right, Floor Baba, everyone. And of course, our guest for our main segment, You Made It, Louie Zong is here. Yes, Louie Zong is here. And it's going to be a lovely chat. But from all of us here at the Tonight is a Night show, thanks for being here. And I believe we're going to hit some ads now.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to Thin Places Radio. I'm your host, and it is the middle of the night. But don't worry, you're not alone.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Feelings, omens, premonitions, hauntings.
Calling because
Have you been thinking about the next life?
I keep having this dream.
Did you miss an opportunity that you can't get back?
I didn't know who else to call.
Have you been feeling lost in a big city?
I'll see if I can make this
Have you
quick.
felt the presence of your lost loved ones near you?
About a month ago.
Is this place cursed, or are you cursed in this
I
place?
have no idea what this means.
Have you fallen in love with the universe?
Sometimes I just wonder.
Are you looking for a friend?
I thought I would share it with you.
When the veil between worlds is thin, we get closer than ever to the strange and the unexplained, but also to each other. Call in. Get it off your chest. Lines are open.
I was just wondering if you had
Yeah,
advice.
I just wanted to get that
And
off
I'm
my
home
chest.
now. Talk to you soon.
I
Bye.
just wanted to call.
Have a good night. Bye.
Anyway,
Good night.
thanks.
We're really trying here, you know? We want a spectacular product. And that product is, of course, the Tonight is a Night show with Miles Morkri. So I was thinking, what do the people really care about? The weather. That's right. So I had my producers hire our new travel correspondent, Matthew, to look into the weather in Minneapolis. That's right, Minneapolis. And things went immediately awry. The footage he sent back is concerning, to say the least. Not least of all because he seems to be in South Korea without really realizing it. And he's been in South Korea for days. And somehow he has not realized that he is not in Minneapolis. But I could be wrong. We here at Tonight is a Night are committed to teaching the controversy. I don't know what that means. Hope you're okay, Matt. Let's roll that clip, baby.
I wanted to know what the weather was like in Minneapolis. But since there is so much misinformation in the world, just how is an average Joe like me supposed to make sense of it? So naturally, I traveled to the nearest airport, post-haste. I'm starting to make sense of this topsy-turvy world and the weather patterns that inhabit it.
It's another lovely day here in America. The weather, very good.
The weather here is so unpredictable. It's like the Wizard of Oz. The weather goes crazy and makes you go black and white mode. And also you get wet. I'm scared. The rain. I've never seen it like this before. Hi. The weather has taken a turn for the worse. It's raining. Forever. I'm disoriented and wet. My brain oh so wet. It was rainy today in Minnesota. And now the only thing that rains down is the sweet embrace of the night. I'm enjoying a local cuisine called Taco Bell. The rain beats heavy as I walk this lonely road. It's only road that I know, and I walk alone. And I walk wetly. My shoes squish in a way that reminds me of home. I'm coming, baby. Right now, I'm in a special bunker that Minnesotans use when the weather gets too crazy. Sometimes you can even hear the rushing water of the storm. Oh my God. It works. I'm safe.
And we're back. And we're bringing back, of course, our segment from last time, the longest running D&D campaign. So just to give you a little update on I have horrible news. I have horrible news, everyone. Someone beloved in our community has, let's say, has traveled along the Rainbow Road. Gunnar, if you want to roll the clip, I believe we have something. You can cut back to me. Yeah, why don't you cut back to me? Oh, you have to anyway.
I thought Miles was going to say something.
I was. I'm still alive, everyone. Nut Gurt has died. Am I on the screen right now? Nut Gurt has died. Perished in a burnt yurt. She contributed so much to us, including ski lessons. And, of course, intramural polo league. Water polo. And so this is probably something I'm going to have to apologize for in the future. Which does bring us to apologies. As I outlined in the last episode, I live in constant fear of being canceled for my actions during a live broadcast talk show. So what I figured was that I would apologize for everything in advance, just to cover my bases. It's kind of like a prepaid credit card. There are a few flaws in that segment, though. We could only cover one apology, and it was a little long. One piece of feedback that we got was, I wish Miles could apologize for even more things. And so I will pluck a few apologies from the jar of regret right now. It's a lightning round, baby. These are apologies. Sorry for making an account on Cameo to impersonate Carlos Alazraqui, the voice actor behind Spyro and the Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog, and then getting banned for life. Not for the impersonating stuff, but for talking about tech decks too much. All right. Sorry for screeching so loudly and cussing so much when you said the second Matrix movie was not your thing. Now, hold on. I need an aside quick. The second Matrix movie is not very good. It's got that great shot of Lawrence Fishburne with the katana, but the third movie is where it's really at, because it's a completely different vibe. And it didn't get as well reviewed by the critics, but it's so fun. And there's mechs. Sorry for thinking Google Drive was a place. And for spending all those years lying to my friends, saying it was the street I grew up on. Sorry for that one very offensive haircut I got a while ago. I think this is a great format. Sorry for yelling at the employees of my local tire shop, telling them they had too many tires and not enough other stuff. For real. That's like going into, an accounting firm and being like, where is your candy? Sorry for writing that nasty letter to the Ford Motor Company where I demanded a free truck but asked them to make it really small because the only thing I needed to put in the flatbed was my TI-83 calculator and 3 marbles. Sorry for breaking into the Las Vegas Sphere and attempting to play the video file Reign of Fire 2002 Cam Rip 1 of 2. Amazing movie, by the way. Matthew McConaughey, Gerard Butler, Christian Bale. It's an all-timer. Sorry for stealing a copy of Rayman Origins for the Nintendo Wii from a Best Buy and then taking out the disc and throwing it at a kid who was just using a pair of soaps grind shoes to grind around the parking lot. I don't know what that means. And our very last apology. Sorry for handing out all those really dangerous business cards that were weirdly sharp and also smelled really bad. That's apologies. I'm so sorry about Nut Gurt. We'll get that one out of the way. My producer's telling me I need to apologize. I know. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. We're going to move on. This is actionable advice. Personable persons, in fact. Those are the 2 metaphorical wheels powering the cute little road bike that is our next segment, How to Rob a House. Join me and executive producer Mia Wolf as we start pedaling, that little bike. Actually, forget the bike metaphor. We're going to learn how to rob a house, baby.
In this economy, sooner or later, you'll find yourself in a situation.
And what do we mean by that?
Well, the ruling class has created an artificial scarcity of food and resources, so eventually you'll find yourself robbing your neighbor.
An awkward situation, to be sure.
Yeah, but we're here to help you navigate the social etiquette of stealing from your community.
That's right. And we're going to share our favorite tips from having to jump from city to city through the Acid family's rapid acquisitions and liquidations.
Maybe we don't talk about that.
Right. So, with this helpful guide, we're going to make sure that everyone feels respected during a robbery.
We're well past the point of safety, but respect is always on the table.
That's right. So, without further ado, let's begin our hands-on demonstration by robbing the house behind us.
But first, some background about why we chose this house.
Right.
So before the Tonight is the Night show with Miles Morkri was purchased by Deluxe Video Drift Studios, I had the profound pleasure of being Charity Acid's personal assistant for over 3 years. Now, of course, Acid family policy dictates that Charity cannot work with any men other than her identical twin brother, Jeremy. So on day 1 of the job, Charity made the decision to transition me from male to female.
Mm-hmm.
The Acid family recognizes the importance of the trans community as tastemakers, so they've instructed me to embed myself within them and curry favor. I've gained the trust of many local community members who think I'm their friend because of Charity's mentorship.
And we here at TNS couldn't be more proud of Mia. And so, now that she's won the hearts of this small community, we're going to exploit that trust for content.
Now, step 1, of course, is getting in. One of the community members whose trust I've gained over the past 3 years is my friend, Lockheed Martha. I've met her wife and 2 kids, lovely family.
They're lovely.
And they even gave me a key to house sit. Their mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Robbing is so much easier if you have a key to get in, but if you don't have years to embed yourselves within someone's life, we like the tip of just park yourself in your car on the street with a little notepad, take notes about when they're not home, and then break in when they're not there.
That's right, and you can use what we call the bathroom trick, which is
Right.
basically pretending to be on a walk, knock on the door, and ask to use the restroom. Once you're in the bathroom, then unlock that bathroom door, and that's where you're breaking in that night.
We love this tip because it avoids any broken glass, which no one likes. Really poor etiquette.
Yeah, and of course, if that doesn't work, then you can use a lockpick set.
But we, of course, have a key, so let's go ahead and let ourselves in.
All right.
So as soon as you're inside, assume a security alarm has been tripped.
Yes, and we're respectful, so we take our shoes off. Now let's get robbing.
I love the take.
I like to give myself 5 minutes to grab everything I can. About the length of the restaurant scene from Heat, 1995. And then, I gotta get out of there. So, let's talk valuables. Mia, what do you like to grab?
Oh, I'm simple. I just like a few pieces of jewelry. Now, these older pieces are usually family heirlooms, so you would probably break someone's heart if you take that. Very poor etiquette. So you want to look for newer pieces with these bigger jewels. Those are usually gifts from cheating spouses trying to say, I'm sorry. So no one's gonna miss that.
Right, no one will miss that. And well, as for me, I steal for pleasure.
The love of the game.
And I love the game. Usually I leave with a stack of family photos and a shirt from every family member. I like to give the shirts to my friends because 1, they work great as gifts, and 2, whenever one of my friends wears one of the shirts, I get a rush like no other.
Another place you can look for valuables is the freezer, which is a very modern new.
Oh, okay, okay, looks like the homeowner is back early, so this is actually the perfect opportunity to show you how to potentially navigate this sticky situation.
Okay, true. Let's hide and introduce ourselves when she's settled in.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go in the closet.
Lockheed, sweetie, get on the ground. Get on the ground. We are robbing you.
Yeah, we're robbing you.
Hey, girl, hey.
It's good to have a weapon on you. In this case, Mia has her trusty gun, and I have my beloved dagger.
What the fuck is going on?
Well, I mean, we're robbing you.
We're taking.
Yeah, we are taking. Mia, why don't you just update her on the situation? Give her the talk about the cops. I'm gonna go downstairs and see what else she's got. God, I love this so much.
So like Miles said, right now you gotta make sure your subject knows she's being robbed, but also that she's respected and cared for. So Lockheed, sweetie, I love you. You're not gonna get hurt. Well, unless you make me. But everything's gonna be okay. Now, in this instance, you might be thinking I should call the police, but you gotta remember they're the dogs of the fascist imperialists, and they do not protect the people. So anyway, can I get you a glass of wine or anything like that?
What?
Afterwards, I will be taking the glass.
Mia, did we expect a grandpa?
What?
Hey, Grandpa. Hi.
Greetings, thief. I am Krola, eater of stories.
Okay, we're doing one of these things. Okay.
Have you brought me an offering, child?
Mia? Did we bring a child? No, I did not bring a child.
No, thief. Offer unto me a fable, for I am the god of stories. All tellers of tales are thieves of magic born of my realm. So, thief, why shouldn't you be a tale teller as well?
I mean, like, we're robbing this house, and it's for but it's for TV, and like, you know, I am telling a story, and like, our audience, you
tell me a tale.
There was a guy named Jake Sully, and his twin brother, who was a mercenary, died, and so the mercenary company flew him to Pandora.
Luckily, I remembered my rope today.
Why are you doing this?
Ooh, 1 second. Okay, say that again.
Why are you doing this?
We just need to eat more, sweetie. They don't really feed us much at DVDs. Well, They feed us plenty at DVD Studios, and I'm happy to be working there. Can you stay put? I'm gonna go check on Miles. Can you watch her for a second?
But lo, Stephen Lang's character's son, nicknamed Spider, was...
Oh, shit. Oh.
Again?
Did I shoot it? What are your pronouns?
It's the Story Eater.
Is Story Eater okay?
I don't think so.
Oh dear. Okay. Do you feel respected?
The one who kills me is doomed to take my place for all of time.
Oh. Oh, it's like a Tim Allen Santa Claus. Okay, my schedule lately is crazy. What if we did like Tuesday, Thursday afternoons? Okay, or just Tuesday afternoons. Oh, you're done. He's Story Eater's dead.
Let me just check the pockets.
Right. Oh. Ibuprofen.
What'd you do with Lucky Martha?
Tied her up.
You remembered the rope this time.
Thinking. So, as you can see, robbing never goes according to plan, but that's part of the fun.
And that's how I get my rush. Sometimes you kill a god and have to take its place for all eternity.
Other times you get a bag full of jewelry and a song in your heart.
That's right, but remember, you're not just another crime statistic. You're a human being.
And with that, I hear sirens, so let's get back to the show and we'll get going.
Yeah, let's go.
Birds. They're outside. All around you. Hundreds of species waiting to be noticed by you. Yes, you. Sitting at your computer/phone. Unlock a world of wonder and funny little guys. Look at this one. Or this one. And this one. Birds. Go out and see birds. Brought to you by Birds.
Hi everyone. We're back with the show, and Mia. I'm really thankful that Mia has been able to still spend time working on the show, even though she has been doing Tuesdays and Thursdays with the as the story eater in that house. So we really appreciate her dedication to the show, and also the dedication to being the story eater. And I hope she can tell us some of the stories that she's eating. So I do my best to keep the members of my staff from interacting and building solidarity. That's the last thing that I want. But I can only be in so many places at once. You can imagine my surprise when I discovered that 2 of the team had become pen pals. I was, of course, furious. But if you're going to defy me, then you can at least be sure I will turn it into a segment for the show. And that segment is called Pen Pals. Dear Pen Pal. It's Dear Pen Pal time, baby.
Dear Pen Pal. I've been feeling really uncool since I lost my sunglasses. So the other day I asked my friends for things I could try to become cooler. Driving a cool car? I hate going fast. Joining a band? I hate crowds and praise. What about smoking, though? Well, I think I would die from it in about a week due to my waifish constitution. And while I do think it's likely I'll die tragically young, I imagine it is more of a protagonist's spouse who comes down with a mysterious illness situation. I guess I don't really care, though. If I'm gonna die young, I might as well look cool doing it. Do I light the yellow end or the white end?
Dear Pen Pal, I can relate to these feelings. The last time I felt cool was when I got that chain wallet. I had it for 3 days before it got caught on the turnstile at Six Flags, and the ticket taker said that meant it was his now. It looked like he had already collected a few chain wallets that day. In his defense, he did look cool with all those chains. I slipped on a pile of Dippin' Dots later that day. Anyway, I think you're supposed to start smoking the cigarette from the center. Put it in your mouth horizontally, like a stylish lover holding a rose.
Last show, you may remember, I brought my licensed pop culture therapist and friend, Andrew Shenkman, to help me, and presumably my viewers, with the waves of existential dread we have been facing and experiencing ahead of the release of the next Avatar movie, Avatar 3? Is there a 3 in the title? No one knows. Gunnar says no. It's called Avatar, Fire and Ash. We made a lot of progress, but the road to Avatar is long and it's winding. And we still have a lot to unpack. So, without further ado, it's Road to Avatar, baby. And I'm here with my friend, Andrew Shenkman. Andrew, you are live.
Yeah, I wanted to posit that perhaps your complicated feelings with the Avatar franchise, the Avatar film franchise, had to do with a subconscious fear of the Na'vi themselves.
Yeah.
And if you could withstand a physical attack from such a physically superior being.
Yes.
Does that feel right?
That feels pretty correct. I mean, anyone that I encounter that is larger than me, I am quite afraid of.
Right, sure.
And it is both in width and height. Yeah.
What would you do? You know, one way we could approach this is to discuss a martial arts tactic. You know, I don't know if you have a relationship with any kind of, sensei at all. Ongoing, of course, that would help you develop.
I had one.
Oh, I'm sorry. That doesn't seem.
Don't bring it up.
We'll move on. You know what? I prepared what I would describe as a role-playing exercise in order to work through some of the feelings you might have internally about fearing the Na'vi.
Yeah.
Would you? I worked with your team. They should be able to provide you a mask and script. I would ask you that you read the script exactly. It's very important, word for word. You know, even if it seems strange. I'm gonna put on a mask as well, and together we'll just
okay,
do this.
The mask needs to come out.
Yes, it's time.
This one didn't go so great.
No.
Oh no. No, I'm not laughing. I'm a very serious person. So you got Okay, so you're now wearing a Miles Morkri mask.
Every time I breathe, it gets sucked into my face. Can someone, do you have scissors? Do you have scissors? Can I have scissors, please?
We're working on it.
And this is my hair.
Yeah, I mean, clearly this is pretty profound. You're losing your hair.
I got him.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've got it.
I think I've, it wasn't on purpose, but I think I encountered a fetish video like this once.
I need to cut the eyes out.
You know, what is therapy but a jigsaw trap from the Saw movie franchise?
Okay, just one eye is fine.
All right, that'll do. Okay, so let's move on. You're wearing your Miles mask, and I'm wearing my Navi mask. Let's begin. Hello, Miles.
Hi.
I am a Navi from the planet Navi.
I think you mean the planet Pandora.
Yes, I knew that. This was a test, and you passed. So I will let you live. Now, to the matter at hand, I hear you might be a little scared of me. Just because I'm bigger and taller and stronger and more graceful than you.
Maybe. Maybe a little bit.
But just think about all the normal people you interact with every day who are probably stronger and faster than you also. In a very real way, you're surrounded by danger at all times and are constantly facing the threat of being physically overpowered and having your face clawed off.
I hadn't thought of that.
But you know, you don't need to be afraid. Look, I'm just a regular avatar. I put my avatar pants on one leg at a time, you know?
Is this another test? You're a Navi, right? You even called them that earlier.
Ha 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 ha. Everything is a test of something. I want to put you at ease and help you be less afraid of me. I'm not a warrior. I'm actually an avatar plumber.
Okay.
I bet you didn't know that.
I did not know that. This is 3 pages?
I became a plumber because I like to help people when their pipes aren't working. Stuff like that. It can be a messy job, but I don't mind it. You get to help people who have really urgent issues and can provide immediate relief.
Yeah.
Plus, I make my own hours. Now, does that sound very scary?
Not in the way that it makes me afraid for my physical safety, but it doesn't really make me feel great about myself.
Wow, can you say more?
You sound like a pretty good avatar. And so the fear I have at this moment is more about whether or not I'm a good person in comparison. And obviously, you're so tall and blue and beautiful.
Thank you.
And you seem so comfortable in your own skin.
Also true.
And that brings up a lot of issues about my own relationship with my body and self-image and all the ways that relationship has been out of alignment. I can never be like you.
I imagine that might make you feel sad, but in a way that you can't reflect through your skin color because you're not blue, like me, a blue guy.
Yeah. Can I take this mask off? It's kind of hard to breathe.
I don't know. Can you?
I can't move.
Miles, maybe what you've been afraid of isn't avatars, and it's not your body. It's living with your essential self, your everyday experience. If you were to take the mask off, if you remove your insecurities, what's left? Who are you underneath?
I don't know anymore.
None of us do. Maybe that's why we seek out mythopoetic blockbuster cinema experiences, an illusory vision of reality, where there is an emotional continuity and a logic of justice behind the otherwise random experience of being alive. You're not wrong for living in that fantasy for a while, and you're not wrong for being repelled by it either. Our brains are, to some degree, powered by narrative making, and you're free to choose a different narrative at any time.
That's like a whole lot, man.
You know,
That's what it says in the
sometimes,
script.
sometimes, please stick to the script. Sometimes, as an avatar plumber, the busted pipes that I fix, they're the pipes of the mind. Okay, I think you're ready to take that mask off. 3, 2, 1. Reveal true self and be at peace. Well, I think we had a breakthrough today. At least I feel that way. You seemed really pleased. So you know what? You don't need to say anything. I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. But I hope that's given you a lot to think of. As we approach December and the release of Avatar: Fire and Ash, third film in the Avatar film franchise. Yeah. Feel free, anyone watching, if you want to reach out for a similar, really profound experience. I do these kind of bespoke mask role play for a reasonable
I can't believe
seven-figure fee.
I can't believe I'm paying for this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Everybody, give it up for Andrew. That's right. Andrew's out. That's right.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. I've had a really weird 3 years away from YouTube, but I have an update on my greatest research project yet. 10 minutes after this video is posted, I'm going live on Twitch and injecting myself with legal drugs that were prescribed to me by a doctor. And also, I really do feel like I bring a unique combination of things to the table of content creation. I think my platform really is Destiny 2, Civ 5, shooter games, discussing skincare, forcing you to do physical therapy exercises, increasing people's knowledge of wolves, increasing people's knowledge of the evils of the phone, pushing people to donate blood because it is good and helpful for others, but also because it might be a way of reducing microplastics. And so in that vein, I also would love to discuss pseudoscience in stream. And speaking of which, what's up with saline? Salt kills bacteria, and yet we put it in our blood with water. Wouldn't that hurt us? By my logic, we need our top minds investigating how saline works. So that would be something happening on my stream as well. Finally, let's see here. Yeah, streaming some live music from the apartment would be fun. I would love to call government officials on stream and ask them to do things, tell them to be better. And also roommate is one of my main platform topics. Hanging out with roommate, discussing things with roommate, playing games with roommate. Roommate is a fascinating topic. I'd also like to cook with a GoPro attached to my head. And I'd like to make flashcards about pop culture because I know very few actors' names or movies or anything, and I would love to learn about the world. And finally, I'd like to design a media curriculum with you, a series of books, movies, TV shows, plays, exercises, foods, whatever, about a topic that we pick, and then I do the curriculum for 3 months and then make a video summarizing it. So maybe 4 videos uploaded to the channel in a whole year. In that video, you'll find out where I've been walking this entire time and why I look so fucked up. So get the fuck out of here and watch that video! Leave! I'm fucking serious. Get the fuck over to that new channel.
Thanks, everyone. And we're back. It's been a long road, and that's going to be looking over me the rest of the show. We make a lot of jokes here. We do a lot of ha-has. We get a little absurd. We might even get a little whimsical. But there's one thing we never joke about, and that's art. Unless they're into that sort of thing. This whole show is about celebrating art and the effort that art has put into it, into making things with other people. I think that is what life is about. And our next guest, Louie Zong, is an incredible artist, visual artist, musician, and just a joy to talk with and learn about his process and the movie Cats, directed by Tom Hooper. So, Louie Zong, you made it. We're here with Louie Zong, and we're going to chat about art and all good kinds of things.
Yeah.
Our first question that I wanted to get to, and I think it's something really important to society, which is bad art. And I think bad has a lot of different meanings, but not something that's like lowbrow or crass. But something that like completely falls flat, just like fully a stinker. I think of like the Sony Spider-Man movies like Morbius and Madam Web, which is incredible, by the way.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I've heard that.
Honestly, I do believe it's worth watching.
As an experience, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that movie and like a major plot point being about Pepsi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Or The Master of Disguise, which is a movie I grew up on. I believe like silly, confusing, like sometimes upsetting media is very beneficial to society, especially as like a reset. And there's always something to appreciate. So my question is, what is your favorite piece of bad media?
You know, it's funny because this is a very easy question for me. And the answer is, of course, Cats 2019. I saw that movie 3 times in theaters with 3 different groups of people and had a great time every time. It happened so that by the 3rd time I was watching it, I was like, I know everything that's going to happen, and I'm just like basking in the absurdity of it all. It's one of my favorite, and it also obviously came out right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's like add that as a crystallized memory of seeing it with my friends in different groups, like basically nude Idris Elba and like Taylor Swift doing her terrible new song for it, and the CG and the bugs and the, oh my god,
somebody like unzips their skin at one point.
There is an unzipping of like a coat that like looks like their skin to just be their skin again, basically. Yes. And then like, you know, Rebel Wilson eats a bunch of bugs, and you know, like it's amazing. The bugs are also played by people. They're also people or children or something like that.
Right.
Yes. I completely agree with your point because like it's now a major cornerstone of memory and art in my head, and I got into Andrew Lloyd Webber more because of it, I guess.
Oh. So I mean, thanks, Cats. Yeah,
Cats. Yeah.
I never watched the live action, but I've been really meaning to watch it because of how absurd it is. I also I think Cats specifically, there is something so absurd just even about the original musical.
Yes, even about the original, yeah.
Yeah, because it's about nothing, really.
Yeah, it's about mortality, kind of, I guess. Yeah. And also about introductions.
Yes, and then there is, like, we get the big emotional song Memory, and then
a bunch of goofs.
It's just nonsense.
And if you ever get Worthy Kids on this show, he will also talk to you about Cats probably. So it's like, this is a continuity.
All right, after this interview, I will watch Cats 2019.
I don't know if he likes Cats 2019. He loves the original.
Oh,
so.
he likes the original. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, I hope I'm not spreading. Listen, his whole damn YouTube show is about cats, basically. So, like, Big Top Burger is about cats. So I don't think I'm being out of my place when saying he loves it.
All right.
But so do I. So.
Yeah, the only real Andrew Lloyd Webber that I had contact with growing up was Phantom of the Opera. And which, listening to it now, also feels absurd. Like,
yeah, a little bit.
There is, like, specifically, it's so 80s at points.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Like, the score calls for, like, actual synths.
Yes. Oh my god! And in Cats 2018, I have the songbook. It's got Skimble Shanks is in 13/8, and then like there's like weird synths all over the original cast album. It's like really fun stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing that I really want to have seen, or I guess find somewhere, is the one that he does on roller skates, Starlight Express, which is a musical on roller skates. And never get put on because people can't skate that good and it's bad.
What? I really do wonder what was like. He had one big hit, and then he had so much money, he just got a blank check to do whatever he wanted.
I guess.
Probably.
I mean, I don't really know, but yeah.
You know, good on you, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
Okay. That. Yeah.
I'm very earnestly about it, not just ironic, right? It's just interesting to me.
Why do you think? Like. Because it still resonates, right? Like
it does, and I don't know. I think it's because it's so unabashedly strange that like it doesn't really like it wasn't like people are because what would an exec think watching it? Like they must have watched it and been like, okay, like, and then they just keep making it, so it's fine. But like I wish that could be for all things. That could be like you present a weird vision and they're like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, I truly believe that more things should just be completely buck wild and things will be bad, and that's great.
Yeah.
Like so much of the media I grew up with is not good.
Yeah. A lot of TV cartoons when we were growing up, I feel like were like not good, but they have something about them, right?
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to insult a group of people, but I have tried to watch Yu-Gi-Oh again, and it's really hard to watch Yu-Gi-Oh.
I haven't tried since I was a kid, so I don't know, but I believe you.
Yes. Yeah. No. It's rough.
Yeah.
But like, I think especially when it is not. It's not bad because of corporate interest. It's bad because it's bad.
Right. That's it.
And like you can still see that someone like put so much work into it.
Oh, so much, yeah. And I have the Cats. This is ridiculous. I have the Cats 2019 DVD, which I got specifically, and it has bonus features. And if you look at some of the stuff, it's like they did really good work with the props. A lot of them are practical, not CG. And you're like, wow, I appreciate the work that went into that because that's really a weird choice. Or like. The dancing is obviously actually really good because it's real dancers and stuff. Like
they went to cat school or whatever.
They went to cat school and ballet school, and it's all combined into something that is bad, but is not bad for like money grabby reasons or something. You know what I mean? Like
right, like the effort was there.
Yes.
I think this gets into the next question that I wanted to ask, which is. Something I feel that it's overlooked in the creative process is, at least from the outsider's perspective, is intentionality, and sincerity. And to me, making something true is far better and more important than making something good. And it's also something you can recognize immediately. So like even with cats, we can tell.
There's something true there.
Yeah, like there is something a little true.
Right. Yeah.
So my question to you is like, what is it about intention that carries so well through a finished piece of art or piece of work?
Well, you hope that it can get there, because I feel like when a lot of, I worked in a TV animation for a long time, or like in music or something. You hope that like everyone's got that intention to do something, or you would hope that like they do. But if they do, you want to see that it can carry through to the finished thing and not get muddled by a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Like when you're in TV animation. You might have a really great idea up front, but then like this thing will happen. This guy will say this note to this single thing, and then when it comes out, you're like, well, it's not so great anymore. Or music, it's like you have a vision for this thing, but maybe you have budget limitations, or you like the record company tells you something, whatever. So then it ends up different. And you can tell because it's like, actually, I feel like it's kind of rare when something like comes through and you can like really feel like this is a singular vision or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's some really great stuff. Like when you think about maybe I don't know if it's blasphemous or not, but like Nick Drake, we have Nick Drake. The first couple albums have a bigger production, and you're like, it's good. And then when you have Pick Moon, and it's just like him and a guitar, basically, that's the purest vision of it, and it's the best one, and in my opinion, or something. So you can feel it through the like way it imprints on you like a particular vision, right? And I hope that more things can like that can exist, but sometimes it's hard. So it's actually unique when it happens, right? That's why it's special.
It is, and that like you can. I think especially when something magically makes it to the finish line with all of that work put into it, and then you can see like how hard earned it is. I think it makes it so special.
Yes.
But
are you watching City, the new anime City?
I watched the first episode.
Oh my god!
Which was spectacular.
If you just keep going with it, and it's like, how did a team of people like work to make this thing that has such a particular vision and also so well done? It's both good and true. It's kind of crazy.
Right, like because it is just like ridiculous kind of tableau.
Yeah, but it's got heart too. Like when you keep going, and you're like, damn, like I feel for these people, but also like it's the silliest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah. It gets more impressive the higher, like the more people involved.
Yes, very much
like
so.
The more cooks you add, the harder it will become to achieve that vision.
Yeah.
And it, like especially with time and like
it is why I kind of like doing stuff by myself or with only like a few people, because it's just easier to get past the finish line with it and have it be something you still like.
Right.
So.
I mean, even with this show, there's like a team of like 8 of us that we gather together, and after a certain point I was like, okay, people, we just need to make every one of us needs to make executive decisions, because I don't want to be in charge of anything. So like people are just making their own choices, and we end up making whatever we end up making.
Right.
And like it still feels good, even if there are points where I'm like complaining or have critique. I'm like, well, it still feels really good to do.
Yeah.
I've made the argument, and I don't know how well this holds, but like, when you make something true, and like, especially when you execute on a vision. Sorry, my dog just grumbled. When you execute on a vision, whatever you had, it's really hard to like authentically critique that. I think, you know, you can critique the specific execution of the vision, or like the quality or the medium, but like if especially if the artist believes they did it.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to have anything bad to say about that.
Right.
Really,
yeah, and then it's like, okay, well, I just don't like it then.
Yeah, which is, you know, more people should be able to, like, you acknowledge that, like, oh, here's a thing that, like, I don't like, but I respect that there's something to it, right?
Right.
So
like, what is, how do you know when you're making something true and sincere? Like, you're making this new album you were just telling me about. How can you tell it's true or sincere?
That's a good question. For music, I guess it can be sometimes hard because I don't think about it too much when I do music, and then that is usually a good thing. But I definitely can tell if I like try too hard to make it sound like something else that I'm not, or something, or like if I do that too much, then you can tell at the end when I listen back to it that's like it's not enough of just like my default state, which is what I prefer to always be. It's easier with art because I feel like, well, music, I mean, it can be too, but art for me especially, it's like when I make a piece or something, if I usually start them with the perfect clear picture of it in my head and the feeling that it should evoke in me, and if I can look at it and even get a shadow of that, I'm like, that's pretty good. You know, like I do a lot of pieces that evoke like evening nostalgia for like suburban Boston, and it's like if I can even make myself feel a little bit of that when I look at it afterwards, I'm like, that's pretty good. You know, I did it.
So are you looking to, when you're making something, you're looking to kind of evoke a feeling within yourself?
Usually, yeah. I mean, unless it's like a goof or something, but like on the whole, these days especially, if I'm doing like a Blender piece, I want it to have a specific mood that like I wanted, like, and I I will do this thing, which probably most people do, is like listen to music that is correct for it while I'm working on it, and then I like finish it and I like associate it now with making the piece, and then the pieces that tied to it a little bit, and
Right.
it makes me feel it when I look at it, and that's very
Yeah.
there's something nice about that.
Yeah, I recently for a client I had to write a K-pop inspired track, and so all I did the week before, because I've never really listened to much K-pop,
Right, yeah.
and so I just listened to so much K-pop the week before, and like so much Blackpink and New Jeans, and now like I have a specific like memory of that time.
That's
of, like,
that, yeah.
Of like, oh, here that was the time I was listening to a lot of Blackpink, and I was having a pretty good time with it actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think right now where I'm at, specifically in my own brain, is I think I'm pretty burnt out at the moment.
Yeah.
And I can tell because when I'm trying to make something, I feel like I am trying to make it rather than or like I'm trying to make, I'm working on it to end up with a final product, which
as opposed to like enjoying the process of it or something.
I'm not having fun. Like the past couple of days I've been trying to write, and I'm like, nothing,
it's not coming out.
Nothing makes me feel good when I'm doing this. So it's been interesting to be like, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to make anything actually sincere when I'm in this state, or like true. Like I could phone it in, but why would I want to do that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, we will take a short break, and then we'll be back with some more questions. Okay. Excellent.
We are born of the gods, made men for the gods, undone by the gods. Do not forget our sacred adage. Fear the old gods.
All right, and we're back. We've got a couple more questions to ask. I think one that I specifically, personally want to hear you talk about.
Yeah.
Like whether it is your visual art or your music or your work on shows, anything, people often describe you as being very prolific. And like scrolling through any of your work on the internet is kind of astounding. Like scrolling through your Bandcamp is terrifying to me. Honestly, it fills me with like
No.
It's intimidating, but like
Jeez.
in a good way, because there is so much there, and you, I think the thing that is so like the thing that really stands out is that it's not only the quantity, but it is the high bar of quality that you kind of set with everything that you do.
Oh, thank you.
So I think my question is, what is the idea of being prolific mean to you, like personally? Do you identify with that, or what do you feel like you're doing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that like I necessarily think about it as an intentional goal. But I will say that ever since I was in like college, and when I was in college and I was on Tumblr, I like started a thing that was like, I think a lot of people were doing it at that time, which is like an everyday for a year.
Yeah, that's where your username came from, right?
It's where my username came from. It's why my Tumblr was started. And, you know, I wasn't even completely successful, right? I missed some days, but I think after doing that, I was like, it feels good. It's kind of like, you know, music was a hobby, and now it's kind of more of a job, but it's still kind of a hobby. And it's like, when I approach it like that, because even though it is my living kind of now, and has been for a while, it's like I still feel like it as it's what I do when I sit down and have fun.
Right.
So I don't think about it with much like weight of the act of creation so much, or because like for example, like I'm in a Quinn and we do music and stuff. They are like a guitarist and singer and everything, but they're really good like draftsmen and artists. And so when I talk to them about drawing, like specifically like a still life, not still life, like a figure drawing or something, they can just do it and there's no like weight behind doing something like that. They can just do them and it's just like fun, part of the practice. You get good, they look good, it's amazing. And for me, I kind of approach it like that, but I don't have that background. So for me, doing like a figure drawing is scary still because I don't do them. You know what I mean? So like if I were to do that every day, that would actually be like a big drain on me.
Right.
But I've developed the practice where I could like make the thing that I like to do as if it's more of a not only keeping up with the practice, but also like enjoying myself while doing it. And when I do that, the prolific stuff doesn't matter. I just happen to post it. Like a lot of people do way more drawings than I do all the time. They just don't post them, right?
Right.
Everyone I know fills sketchbooks. I don't draw on paper at all. Like, so it's just translated in a different way, I feel like.
Yeah.
Everyone is prolific in some way, right? Like, don't you just play piano sometimes just for fun, right? Like,
oh yeah.
So, okay, so like, it just that, right? Like, but some people happen to use it in a different way or whatever. And then I guess I just happen to post them all. But
yeah.
For example, right, my friend Dante, he's got 10,000 beats on his computer. They're all great. He's a great hip hop and jazz producer. He never puts them anywhere, but he is way more prolific, I would consider, than I am, for example. For me, it's like, I just happen to package them in a way that I think is fun, and I just put them on. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be doing it no matter what, you know?
I had this practice for a little bit, for like 2 months at the very beginning of this year, where I wrote a song or wrote a track for an hour every single day. And
that's a lot.
And I didn't share them anywhere.
Yeah.
And it stopped because I got depressed, but like I remember feeling like the better days were when I just wasn't thinking about it at all. And I think this gets kind of into another question that I have, which is I can't remember who I was talking with. But they told me that you've said that when you're kind of in the middle of creating, you kind of turn your brain off, or like you enter in some sort of flow state. How, can you give step-by-step process? How do I turn my brain off?
Gosh, what a question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. Like, you know, I don't always get there. Sometimes I'm just picking out a way to think I never quite hit a state where I'm like going through it. But I think I guess for me, the creative process is like, I see something cool or I take in something interesting, like a piece of art or a book or a movie or music or something. And then it gets something whirring in my head. And then I have an idea of a thing, like either a composition or a whatever, you know, and then I just, without the like intake part, I would have nothing there. So I try to take a good balance. And then when I do have a clear vision, I feel like over the years I've developed enough of a, you know, knowledge of, say, Blender to like just get into it and be like, I'm going to make this thing real. And then I just kind of print it out while I like have Northern Lion on in the background. You know what I mean? Like it's like, it's not super, I don't try to overthink it. And sometimes I have pieces where I like didn't have such a clear vision, or I was just like, I'm just going to do something kind of like this maybe. And then it ends up wrestling with it and fighting it a lot. And then it doesn't come out good. So of course I still have those, but you know, I have to talk about Antiques Roadshow. I have to talk about Antiques Roadshow where I get so much damn inspiration all the time because you just learn about craft from past centuries and places.
Okay.
And then I go on a deep dive of looking about that thing, and then I have a whole new folder in my folder of reference to like pull from when I'm making new Blender stuff.
So when someone brings something in, like an antique in, and then the person like talks about it.
Yes, exactly. And Antiques Roadshow actually, I think this is crazy, but completely pivoted my Blender work because for a long time, and lots of Blender people do this, this is nothing wrong with this, but like nostalgia core, like you're doing Pokemon, and I do it too, of course.
Right.
But you never look at like what got to that point. So when I was watching Antiques Roadshow, I saw a person bring an assemblage box from like the 20s by Joseph Cornell, I believe his name is, and it's like a perfect little box with objects arranged in it. And everyone was like, that looks like I Spy. So I went on this deep dive about assemblage, and then that I realized that assemblage informed the I Spy books of my childhood and everyone's childhood,
Yeah.
which that aesthetic was like everywhere at that time of like utopian scholastic slash like, you know, so when you realize where all that stuff is coming from and you go back and like do some deep diving about it, then you have this huge well of like surrealism, like cubism, assemblage, and folk art.
Yeah.
All influenced the 90s and 80s and 2000s stuff that we all love now. So like when you go back and pull from that, you never really run out of inspiration.
Right.
I feel like.
I think especially whatever art form you're in, I think depending on whatever project you're doing, like researching and also like learning whatever like threads of history that you can follow.
Yeah.
It's not even like, it is really beneficial, but it also just makes the process feel, it connects you to the process so much
I think
more.
so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, that wasn't about the flow state at all, basically. But
I think we kind of got into it though. Like,
yeah,
I think especially when because you're putting yourself into it.
Yes, that is true.
And then you've created this well of reference that you can just sort of.
I do envy artists who like can have that well of reference, but also like can come up with like crazy shit from whole cloth, because I don't feel like I can do that. I'm very much like a pick and choose my favorite bits from other artists and put them into like a thing that I think is me. But like some people could just like come up with some shit and then just make it, you know? So and I don't know how they do that.
Well, I think the thing to remember with that is they worked their whole lives to be able to do that.
That is true.
It's something that people, I think, outside of art, or people who want to get into any form of art, whether it's music or visual art, you know, whether, I just drew this thing in 5 minutes. So it's like, actually it took them like 30 years.
It took them many,
yeah. I think it's extending to you, where like that everyday practice helps, like you practiced and you got really efficient.
It's about, and for musicians, it's about your training, right? For musicians, it's about eye training. Like I'm like, actually, most Blender artists have better technical skills than I do. They ask me how to do it. I'm like, you guys have everything. You just gotta compose a picture. Like that's all it is.
Right. Yeah. I think the practice of thinking about what you want to do, and like actually being creative.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, how do I get to that point?
Or like, you know, it's like the classic, like, what brushes do you use? It's like, well, it does matter in some sense, but also it doesn't matter even a little bit.
Right. And I think there is this sense, at least on like social media, where like you have to be good immediately. And I may have brought this up in my interview with Rebecca. I don't remember, but like, there is no room to be bad at things anymore. At least.
I would be scared to be that starting teenager on Tumblr now, because it does feel like that. Back then, I think that there were a lot of people like me, 14, 15-year-olds with a bad tablet and an old copy of Photoshop, pirated copy of Photoshop, that they just were like making weird doodles in, and like it was a lot more friendly then, I think, for that maybe. But
I mean, I was posting horrible electronic music on SoundCloud for my.
Okay, I do want to. I do want to hear this though.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I think.
Okay.
I've saved it somewhere. I did a cover of Time from Inception.
Oh yeah.
And on my pirated copy of FL Studio.
Hell yeah.
Which I think it's kind of a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage for sure. I actually used the demo of FL Studio. So if you look at the first like 15, 20 albums on my Bandcamp, they were all made in the demo.
Oh.
So I had to finish them in that session, otherwise they would not save.
So did you just like leave your computer on?
Nope, I would just finish it and then bounce it out and be done.
Yeah. Do you enjoy like listening to your old stuff that you do?
I think as a nostalgic effort, yes. I mean, technically, I'm always like, man, it's like so corny or whatever.
Right.
But definitely because I have enough albums on there, they are pretty linked to a specific place and time. Like I know here's where I was in Boston, and here's where I moved to San Francisco, and here's where I moved to LA.
Yeah.
And so I actually do like looking at them for that purpose.
Yeah, I mean they kind of function as time capsules.
Very much so.
I really have a hard time listening to any of my old things and like appreciating them.
Yeah.
There's only like a few songs that I've done where I'm like, wouldn't have changed anything. Great.
Oh, that's a nice feeling too. Though,
yeah,
but...
it feels like rare. It feels special. Okay, we have time for one more question.
Let's do it.
And this is about burnout.
Okay.
So for me, and I mentioned earlier that I am burnt out right now.
Yeah.
But it is a cycle, and it happens every time. I don't realize that I'm burnt out until 5 days in, and I'm like totally burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
And I just keep trying to work and work. And even though something starts feeling off, and I'll injure myself, or I'll get sick, and I inevitably get very depressed. And I'm like forced to take a break.
Right.
You being the, quote unquote prolific artist that you are, what does it take like to become burnt out? And like, how do you know when you are?
There are periods where I could recognize in myself that I'm like trying to make a piece every day or every other day just because I feel like the internet should have it or something, because like otherwise you'll be forgotten off the face of the earth.
Yes.
But I obviously know from posting online for 15 years, like half of my goddamn life, that I can be gone for like 2 months not doing anything, and then come back and the people be like, oh yeah, it's just like the same. So I recognize that sometimes I am trying to make pieces or art music just for the hell of like people seeing it, and that's when I recognize that, then I know I'm like, I gotta take a break and then take in some new stuff, get inspired in different ways, and then try that. Right.
Yeah. So like,
I definitely feel that sometimes though. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do when you are burnt out? What is your recovery process like? You mentioned getting inspired.
Yeah, it's funny because my hobby kind of is also my job. It's like, what I will do is just play video games or listen to music, because I often don't do those things at the expense of doing the thing.
Yes.
So I have a backlog of so many games I need to play, like, and usually those will get me going thinking about something, right?
Yeah.
Or books. Oh my God, I love reading, but like when you're working on art or music, it sometimes feel like it's a waste of time to read books, but it's obviously not. So I'll go to the park, nearby, and just read there for a couple hours a day or something. And that usually makes me feel a lot better. So.
Yeah. I at the beginning of this year, I like started watching one movie per week, because I was like, I need to put more in.
Yeah.
So watching a movie every week and like reading more books, I didn't really realize how important it was to see what other people are doing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, everyone has such a different way of viewing the world. I have to recommend a book I got while I was in Boston last time called Damascus Nights, which is a really beautiful Syrian book that like is very magical and dreamlike, but also tied to like real life politics and stuff.
Ooh, okay. I'm in.
And it's Damascus Nights. It's a beautiful book.
Okay, Damascus Nights.
I think that his author's name is Rafik Shami, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, like.
Yeah.
Or like, for example, we were talking about briefly like Look Far in the break about my Dungeon Synth project, and Look Far came about because of books in the initial sense of Earthsea, which I read for the first time like during the pandemic or maybe slightly before.
I just started reading Ursula Le Guin.
Oh, come on. Ursula's the goat, like, come on.
Yeah, I just started. She has a collection of short stories that I just started reading.
Yep.
That's
a great one. Yeah, her short stories, Left Hand of Darkness, obviously all of the Earthsea books are really good.
Yeah.
And so that's where that inspired me to come up with a whole new pseudonym and everything to do that, like.
I think I read the wrong book recently. It was Sputnik Sweetheart by Murakami, which is...
Oh, is that a new Murakami?
It's old, but it is...
I have not read that one.
It's pretty short, and it's deeply upsetting.
They all are kind of, aren't
they? Yeah. The end, I was like, Oh God.
Oh man, sometimes that's the way. I was reading a book called, which my friend Chris lent me, called The Wall by Marion something. It's like a German or a Swiss, I think. But it's a great book, but it's so depressing that I had to just. I was like, I can't right now because it was like
Right.
2022 and it was still pretty deep. And I was like, I can't read this book right now.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
ruining my life, even though it's so good.
Yeah, I really should have realized what the book was doing to me. Do
Yeah,
highly
sometimes it can go the
recommend
other
it.
way.
Okay.
Okay.
I still highly recommend it, but
Okay,
be aware of kind of what it might do to you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're out of time, but thank you so much for chatting with us. I mean,
of course.
do you have? I didn't prep for this, but do you have any parting words of wisdom or things that you want people to know about, or what you're doing? Anything like that?
We basically talked about this, but I would say that as a word of like just to to all aspiring artists or musicians or whatever, it's just take in a lot of stuff. People ask me always like, what's the secret of this thing or whatever you do this thing, and the answer is just like have a lot of influences and pick from what you like the most because it will come out and it will make something new in you. As for something to promote, I mean, I kind of don't have anything going on, but I am working on a new album. It is a indie pop kind of psych pop kind of homage to Elephant Six, Apples in Stereo, Olivia Tremor Control. Obviously, I can't quite make that like that, but I'm doing my best, and it'll be kind of fun. So that'll be coming out in the next month or two probably.
What else can you do except do the best that you can do?
That's
right?
all. And I don't have a bunch of friends who like twee pop music, so I can't. I have to make it all myself.
Dang it! Ugh.
Dang.
Well,
who else will play C major 7, F major 7 with me over and over?
Oh yeah, it's so hard to find those people. Well, thank you so much, Louie. It's been a pleasure.
Yes,
and
it has.
we are gonna go take a short break, and then we'll be back to the show.
I was making an ad for my friend's tabletop RPG called Acapella Apocalypse, where choir geeks fight a zombie horde. And to do that, I just took the opening paragraph to this source book and turned it into a song, which makes it an ad. And here it is.
Welcome to Acapella Apocalypse, a tabletop role-playing game system where you and your friends create your very own choir geeks and have them sing and dance and fight their way through whatever adventure your choir master has in store for you. And the best part is, the more fun your plays have, the better their characters will do. And one more thing.
Hi everybody, this is Miles on behalf of Infloresce Records, which is a record label founded and run by Ivy Tran, which I am also the co-runner of, and I wanted to take you through 3 seconds from a track from each of our releases, just as an amuse-bouche of what our label has in store. So, without further ado, 3, 2, 1. If you liked what you heard at all, you can support us on Bandcamp infloresce.bandcamp.com or our Patreon, patreon.com/infloresce. Those are the best ways that you can support our artists' music. That's the best way that you can support us as a label. You gotta support indie art. If you like an artist, if you like a musician, go buy their music directly, okay? It's the best way to support them. And it'll make their day. Anyway, okay, thank you. That's right, we're back. These are horrible. Wait. Thank you. Thanks everybody, we're back. And I just wanted to remind you that this is live. This is live. Everything I'm saying is it's not prepared at the moment. There's 4 other people in this room with me who are helping make this happen. One of them just coughed. I wanted to apologize for my Nut Gurt outburst earlier. Which I was handed. Nut Gurt outburst. So in the future, I don't want a Nut Gurt surprise. And I was just handed horrible information. Matt, our weather correspondent who ended up in South Korea, is missing and presumed dead. He was last seen planking on a bench outside of Taco Bell in Seoul. And I wanted to use this as an opportunity to work on a eulogy because, you know, I think practice makes perfect. So Matt, he played guitar and he was quite funny. And he has or had glasses and beard. And for that, we salute you, Matt. Thank you so much, Matt. And hopefully he's found. For our next segment, take a look at this face. Inside it is a brain. And that brain is bursting with thoughts about experiences. I spend most of my time having experiences and then thinking about them. And good 82% of those experiences being thought through involve some kind of art. And what is art? I'm not going to keep going with this, actually. Our next segment is basically little moments that I really appreciate that I will talk about at length and convince you to also appreciate them. It's called Miles Moments. All right, folks. In order to really appreciate this, and I don't have a script for this, I have no plan. All I have is a piece of paper with this little guy I drew on it. In order to prepare you for this, I need to teach you about motifs. So, motif. What do we think that is? Well, usually it's a string of notes that we can repeat throughout a piece or a collected work. And a leitmotif is what is referred to, we use leitmotif to refer to motifs that represent a specific thing or a specific character. Sadly, the person who popularized leitmotifs was a Nazi. So I just call them motifs, in fact. We can think of a lot of famous melodies as motifs. Today we're going to be talking about Lord of the Rings, the score by Howard Shore. Specifically, I mean, one of his motifs, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, that's a little long for a motif, but it has a lot of distinct characteristics. There's a few whole steps followed by a leap and then descent. So we go up and then we go down. And that is malleable and has a lot of utility in a bunch of different areas. We can develop it. We can recontextualize it. We can flip it. And throughout the course of the trilogy, we hear that melody being used to represent the hobbits in different situations. Another melody that's used to represent Sauron, the great villain who is never really seen, is a bunch of half steps and discordant leaps. So we have that is harsh and it is oppressive. Usually it's accompanied by this industrial set of percussion. So whenever we see the Eye of Sauron, a lot of times when we see Isengard, that motif plays. The very cool thing that happens throughout the course of the trilogy is, one, we get a development of that motif, but when the Eye of Sauron, that tower, is destroyed, we get a new take on that motif. So normally we hear it surrounded by half steps. When the tower explodes, which is a piece of music called The End of All Things, we hear ba 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 ba. So instead of half steps, we get this familiar shape that when we look at the Eye of Sauron, we get this familiar shape of a motif. But instead, we expand the intervals from half step to whole step. Ba 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 ba, and we go up instead of down. And Sauron has been defeated. Anyway, I think that's pretty cool. Howard Shore did a really good job. And pay attention to little things that feel memorable to you when you're listening to music. It's a good way to get started in remembering moments of pieces and recognizing things when they come back. You can recognize a lot of song structure by recognizing an opening motif, and then halfway through it comes in again, and you're like, oh, maybe this is like a recapitulation of an earlier section, or maybe we're developing it, or something. Repetition breeds familiarity, as we are told. Anyway, I hope you appreciate it. I'm going to write Miles. This has been a Miles moment. That's right. Wah, 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 wah. Thanks, Howard Shore. Am I?
Dear Pen Pal, there are certain words with which autocorrect struggles. Words such as guarantee, blimp, and dong. These words should be removed from the English language dictionary and be stored in a second secret dictionary that we only use in case of emergencies. These emergencies can include floods, tornadoes, and McRib shortage, things like that. Actually, I've changed my mind. I think we should use this new dictionary to know which words to avoid during emergencies. Messages such as, your safety is guaranteed on the dong blimp, even if true, will simply be too difficult to compose and send during these stressful and dangerous events.
Dear Pen Pal, I like your idea, but I guarantee you're going to regret including one of those words in the avoid dictionary. Guarantee. I'm not a huge fan of it or anything. In fact, I rarely use it. But I think cutting such a popular and historically rich word out of emergency situations is guaranteed to be asking for trouble. What else could a genuine, guaranteed firefighter, with his broad shoulders and his mustache and an attractive glint in his eye, say to the people he's about to rescue other than, I guarantee your safety? Absolutely nothing. And when he looks you in the eyes, and you know he means that guarantee, I guarantee you there's no better feeling in the world. And when he tells you his name is Roger, and that he knows this is weird, but could he give you his phone number? Guaranteed heaven.
And we're back, everyone. Yay! Yeah, thank you. My phone's at 2%, so if I open it and open the crowd effect, it'll die. And that would have been so funny. Not this time. Thank you so much for joining us today. I just want to say that if you do donate via the Streamlabs link, you can write anything and I will say anything in our after show, which will happen after the credits. And if you don't, I'll be so sad. I'm sorry about this episode. I really am. What can I say? We've truly made a monster. And I wanted to thank everybody here. Mia, Gunnar, Kaitlin, and Aedric, and Oslo is upstairs. We've worked so hard on this show, and making it as stupid as it possibly can be. And I believe we've succeeded, but there's always another summit to climb. So we're gonna roll credits, and we'll have our after show, but in the meantime, get your donations in while the credits roll, and make me say whatever you want. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone.